Roman Reigns returns with The Rock. Goldberg fires accusations at Vince McMahon. Why Goldberg chose Gunther for his retirement match. Goldberg claims WWE gave others the spear just to downplay his. Vince McMahon's new company logo revealed. Jake Paul was banned from WWE. An update on John Cena amid his WWE absence. Sad news for Hulk Hogan. The Undertaker is ready to return to WWE after a disagreement, and The Rock joins forces with Travis Scott again. Let's dive right in. Goldberg fires accusations at Vince McMahon. Goldberg is set to face Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event, his final match before retiring. But in a recent chat with 11 Alive, he dropped a bombshell about why his retirement match took so long to happen. Goldberg revealed the delay started after his last bout, tied to a deal he had with Vince McMahon. He was promised one more match after his contract ended, but when McMahon was ousted, the plan fell apart and was left in limbo. For a long time, nothing moved forward, and Goldberg wasn't about to beg for his promised match. He was ready to walk away from wrestling if it didn't happen. No, this has been building since my last match. The reality is, and I think a lot of people know it, I was kind of promised a retirement match. Another match after the last match that was on my contract. It was between Vince McMahon and I, and then Vince got fired and the rest is history. It just sat there for a while. And look, I'm not gonna pick up the phone and say, hey, give me my retirement match. So if it happened, and I was kind of fine with not performing again. Years later, WWE finally called. Goldberg admitted he's older now and more worn down than the 285-pound powerhouse fans knew in his prime. Still, as a fierce competitor, he couldn't turn down the chance. He believes even at 70, half of his ability would outshine nearly everyone else. And lo and behold, I get a phone call, albeit a couple years later, and now I'm older and more beat up compared to the 285-pound guy you saw back in the day. But as an athlete, as a competitor, I'm not gonna say no. I don't care if I'm 70 years old, because 50% of me is better than 99% of the people on the planet. Will Goldberg shock the world by defeating Gunther, or will the ring general steamroll the Hall of Famer in his final match? Either way, it's Goldberg's last ride, and he seems at peace with how it'll play out. Why Goldberg chose Gunther for his retirement match. Goldberg is ready for his final battle, and he's picked a fight that means something big. The WWE Hall of Famer will face Gunther at Saturday night's main event in Atlanta, marking his last match ever. This isn't just a random booking, it's personal. In a candid chat with 11 Alive, Goldberg explained why he chose Gunther as his final opponent, pointing to a past moment that lit a fire under him. Well, as I said the other night, on the show, I was vying for my retirement match, and he just so happened to put himself in that spot. I really hope for you. It could have happened to anybody that opened their mouth negatively about me and my family when we were there, back for the pay-per-view. So, I don't know whether it was planned by him. I don't know. All I can say is he willingly stepped right into that spot, and I willingly accepted him as my final opponent. Goldberg stressed that this clash is more than just a match. It's about respect. He sees Gunther as the face of the new generation, and he wants to teach them to honor the veterans who paved the way. I just want to put my fist through his face. I just want to make sure that this younger generation, and he's representing that younger generation, respects us old guys and they must understand that we must command that respect forever. Because you never know what position they're in or condition they're in, or you never know if they're still willing to go. And I'm still willing to go. And so you better watch your mouth. And, younger generation, man, look up to your elders, respect them, because you never know what can happen. The stage is set in Atlanta, where Goldberg made his name in WCW. WWE even gave him a grand entrance on Raw, letting him roll up in a red 70 Chevy. In exchange, the car's owner scored ringside seats and an autograph. With the build-up done, Goldberg and Gunther are headed for a fierce showdown, and with emotions this raw, it could be a legendary end to his career. Goldberg claims WWE gave others the spear just to downplay his. Goldberg is speaking out loud and clear about who should own the spear in WWE. After The Undertaker praised Braun Breaker's crushing spear on iShow Speed at the 2025 Royal Rumble, Goldberg doubled down in a fiery interview with Shake Wrestling. Asked about Taker's comments, he didn't hesitate to back Breaker as the only one who should use the move after his retirement. 1,000%, and I saw that interview. Number one. Number two, it's pretty funny that interview came up when I'm retiring, and it didn't have anything to do with me because, let's just talk about the reason why everybody started doing the spear at the WWE. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out, right? I mean, let's be perfectly honest. They did it to make mine look bad, or, to downplay mine. Goldberg revealed he had a direct talk with Breaker. laying out his stance. And I had the conversation last night with Braun, and I told him my feelings on it, and I think 1000% he's the only human being in the WWE that should be doing that. Now, I know I'm going to catch a lot of hell from that, but I don't care because that's the truth. I mean, it is what it is. He went further in a blind spear ranking game during the interview, first putting Breakker at number 1. Until his own name came up. Then he set the record straight. Okay, well, I'm number 1 and Braun's number 2. Goldberg's final spear rankings? Himself, Braun Breakker, Edge, Rhino, and Roman Reigns. With both Goldberg and The Undertaker hyping Breakker's spear, it's a huge nod to the rising star, practically handing him the move's legacy. Whether WWE runs with it remains to be seen, but Breakker's spear is getting major props from the greats. Vince McMahon's new company logo revealed. Vince McMahon is back in the game, and his latest project now has a striking visual. On July 7th, a trademark filing unveiled the official logo for his new company, 14th and I, signaling his next big move in entertainment and finance. The logo, sporting a sharp 14th and I design, was part of a U.S. Patent and Trademark Office application. The filing covers entertainment services, namely production and development of scripted television and digital programming, plus private equity fund investment services, financial services, namely management of private equity funds, private equity fund investment services, and financial portfolio management. Despite McMahon's wrestling legacy, reports suggest 14th and I won't touch the wrestling world. McMahon stepped down as TKO executive chairman in January 2024 after a lawsuit from former WWE employee Janelle Grant, and legal troubles still shadow his name, but that hasn't slowed him down. The name 14th and I nods to the old Capitol Wrestling Corporation, WWE's predecessor, at the corner of 14th and I streets in Washington, D.C., tying to his family's history while launching something new. The company has already set up multiple LLCs and tapped former WWE executive Brad Blum as president. This logo reveal is another step in McMahon's plan to dive into scripted TV and financial ventures, keeping him in the spotlight far beyond wrestling. Jake Paul was banned from WWE. A popular star has now said that WWE has banned him. Another star has also responded to this. Jake Paul was sitting with his brother Logan Paul for his YouTube video blog of the week. There, they answered several big questions about their plans for the coming days. One of the questions that was asked was about whether Jake would join the Maverick in the Triple H-led wrestling promotion and whether they would be in a tag team together, or even end up wrestling one another. To this, Jake Paul surprisingly said that unfortunately, he was banned from the company. I'm actually banned from the WWE. Logan Paul refuted this and said that he had just upset some people involved with TKO. He said that was the reason for the ban, but it was nothing that could not be fixed. You've just upset some of the people involved because you've made an enemy out of F. Dana White. You made a diss track on him. Logan Paul went on to explain that now that Dana White was a part of TKO, Jake angering him led to his ban. He did go on to explain that there was quite a bit of static, but he was sure that this was something that they could fix with some effort. Dana's now part of the TKO group because the TKO group now owns the UFC and the WWE, and the TKO group is an offshoot of the WME, the Hollywood agency, William Morris Endeavor, owned by Ari Emanuel, played by Ari Gold on Entourage, one of the greatest characters in television history. I think there's still a bit of static, but nothing we can't fix. It remains to be seen if the two will work as a tag team in the future at the Stamford-based company. An update on John Cena amid his WWE absence. John Cena, the undisputed WWE champion, has been missing from WWE TV lately, and now we know why. The Cenation leader has been tied up with outside projects. Cena last appeared at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, where he defended his title against longtime rival CM Punk. Next, he's set to face 2025 King of the Ring winner Cody Rhodes, who he beat for the championship at WrestleMania 41. The two will clash in the main event of the first ever two-night SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Coincidentally, Cena's already in the state, filming his new Netflix comedy movie, Little Brother, according to NJ.com. The 48-year-old star has just one WWE TV appearance scheduled this month, returning on the July 18th episode of SmackDown to heat up his feud with the American Nightmare. On a recent Something to Wrestle podcast, JBL tossed out names for Cena's potential final opponent in his retirement match set for late December. I think Brock would be awesome. I also think Roman would be awesome. I think both those would be incredible matches, but I think The Rock. That's kinda it because The Rock kinda helped him turn heel. The Rock had done so much. Plus, The Rock's the biggest movie star in the frigging world. I guess maybe the biggest star in the world. I don't know who's a bigger star than The Rock. I think The Rock would be great. Will Cena walk away from WWE as the undisputed champion when he retires? Only time will tell. Sad news for Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's been hit with some rough news. The WWE Hall of Famer, last seen getting booed on Raw's Netflix debut, hasn't appeared in WWE since, but has shifted focus to new projects. Unfortunately, his latest venture is struggling. His new promotion, Real American Freestyle, is gearing up for its debut show on August 30th, but ticket sales are falling flat. Despite high demand for WWE events, Hogan's show isn't catching on. WrestleTix reports that out of 13,077 seats, only 3,882 are available for the event, and just 457 tickets have been sold since the announcement. Even worse, only 47 tickets moved in the past week. There's still time for sales to pick up, but typically, new events see a big rush at the start, with the rest trickling in closer to the date. Adding to Hogan's woes, rumors recently swirled about his health. His friend Bubba the Love Sponge claimed Hogan's family was told to say their goodbyes, suggesting he was on his deathbed. TMZ debunked this, reporting that a source confirmed Hogan wasn't dying, but was in the hospital dealing with neck and back issues tied to a cervical surgery. While serious, it wasn't as dire as first thought. The Undertaker is ready to return to WWE after a disagreement. The Undertaker is itching to return to WWE after a lighthearted clash on his podcast, 6 Feet Under, with Charlotte Flair and his wife, Michelle McCool. The trio got into it when discussing an offer from ESPN for a body issue shoot that the Phenom turned down. McCool teased that he should have worn less, calling him hot, while Charlotte cracked up and pitched herself as creative director, even suggesting a small coffin for the shoot. Annoyed by the whole thing, The Undertaker declared he was done with podcasting and ready to get back to WWE. I'm going back to work. I gotta go back to work. This podcasting stuff ain't working. I'm going back to work. Rumors have been swirling about The Undertaker taking on a creative role in WWE, and he addressed them directly, explaining what it would take. Rumors are rumors whirling around. Yeah, I've always kind of had an interest. It's just a matter of making it work, with my schedule and the other things that I have going on, because the ask for something like that is really big. I would have to be 100% committed to be part of that, right? I mean, you have to be involved in all of these creative meetings and all of this other stuff. With his clear interest, a return to WWE's creative team could be on the horizon if he can make it fit his busy life. The Rock joins forces with Travis Scott again. It's been a while since The Rock last showed up in WWE. The Final Boss made waves at Elimination Chamber earlier this year, where John Cena turned heel and crushed Cody Rhodes. Since then, WWE has kept dropping The Rock's name in Cena's storyline. Meanwhile, Travis Scott was last seen at WrestleMania 41, helping Cena take down the American Nightmare. Reports hinted Scott was slated for Money in the Bank 2025, but those plans fell through and WWE brought back Ron Killings instead to mess with Cena. Now, inside sources say Scott's return might be pushed to SummerSlam 2025, and The Rock could make his comeback alongside him. This sets the stage for a huge tag team match, with The Rock and the 34-year-old rapper possibly facing Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Cody Rhodes earned a shot at Cena's undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam by beating Orton in the King of the Ring finals. Triple H's creative team might book the tag team match for Night 1 of SummerSlam, with Cena and Rhodes clashing for the title on Night 2. The Rock and Scott teaming up could be a ploy to wear Cody down before his big championship bout, much like when Seth Rollins and Cody faced The Rock and Roman Reigns on Night 1 of WrestleMania XL, before Cody dethroned the OTC on Night 2. This scenario is just speculation, but if it plays out, it could spark a major twist. Orton, who's been tipped to turn heel since the King of the Ring, might betray Cody during the tag match. A heel turn from the Viper in this match would be the perfect moment to shake things up. If Cody manages to take the title from Cena at SummerSlam, Orton's betrayal could lead to a fresh showdown between the former Legacy teammates. Roman Reigns returns with The Rock. Roman Reigns hasn't been seen on WWE TV since Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker viciously attacked him on Raw after WrestleMania, sidelining the Tribal Chief. For weeks, fans have been on edge, expecting his music to hit at any moment. With a huge weekend ahead, Evolution 2025, Saturday night's main event, and NXT Great American Bash all set to light up the next few days, the buzz is that Reigns will return to get payback on Rollins and his crew. But the head of the table might not come back alone. With Rollins backed by two of WWE's most dangerous stars, Reigns could need some muscle of his own. Instead of teaming with Rollins' other rivals, the former undisputed WWE Universal Champion might show up at Saturday night's main event with future Hall of Famer The Rock. This would mark a reunion for Reigns and The Rock since WrestleMania 40, where the People's Champion returned to the ring. They also shared a moment on Raw's Netflix debut, when The Rock presented the Ula Fala to Reigns, though that didn't lead to a bigger story. A fresh alliance between Reigns and the Final Boss unseen since April 6, 2024, would shake up WWE and add a wild twist to the feud. With Rollins already dodging multiple enemies while eyeing a title shot, facing Reigns and The Rock could spell trouble for him. This is just speculation for now, but the possibilities are electric. Since Reigns' attack, talk of a Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns main event at SummerSlam has been swirling. The two have a deep history, and their clash would thrill fans. But WWE analyst Sam Roberts, on a recent Not Sam Wrestling podcast, pitched a different idea, suggesting Rollins rematch CM Punk at SummerSlam, while Reigns takes on Braun Breaker. I wouldn't mind Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. I really wouldn't. I think that'd be fun. You know, just something to get his feet wet. Just something to get things moving. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker. I wouldn't mind that, he said. The WWE Universe is left guessing what's next for Reigns when he makes his big return.